Hello trainers, Tombox here, and in this video I'll be giving 7 quick tips of how to make your Pokemon Go experience a little bit better for those that are starting off, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. So your starting Pokemon. Your starters, you have a choice of Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. Well, actually you have one more starting Pokemon that's a bit of a secret, but however the internet's probably leaked this one out all over the place by now. You can start with a Pikachu. So when you start your Pokemon Go experience, after spending 20 minutes customizing what you look like, there isn't very many choices. On your map, you'll have 3 Pokemon available, which are the 3 stars that I mentioned before. If you walk away from those Pokemon 4 times-ish, a Pikachu will appear in place of those Pokemon, and then you can catch that as your starter instead. But here's the thing. Well, you don't have to get too sentimental with these Pokemon because you'll be finding more of these starters. None of these starters are exclusive. These starter Pokemon will be available wild as well, so you'll probably find them much stronger out there, and you can even find evolved versions of them, so you don't have to waste your candy on upgrading them as well, because candy is a precious resource that I'll get into in a bit. However, if you're sentimental for your first starter Pokemon, well, that's alright, because how you play the game is up to you. So for powering up and evolving your Pokemon, first of all, I would recommend not to spend any of the candy that you earned in the beginning on any of the Pokemon that you're eventually going to get rid of, and I would avoid evolving basic Pokemon, unless of course you can evolve it right to the final form, so those 1 evolution ones. But those that have stage 1 and 2, I would recommend finding the stage 1 and then evolve it to stage 2. Mainly because it actually costs a lot of candy to get the evolution, and you'd rather spend the candy to actually power up your Pokemon. So the experience system is a bit different, and every Pokemon that you catch will warrant you 3 candies. If you hatch an egg, you'll get even more candy for that type of Pokemon. And also, if you transfer it away, you'll get 1 candy for it. So for every Pokemon that you catch that's extra, it's netting you about 4 candy. Now for catching Pokemon and tracking them down. Tracking Pokemon, when you're walking around on the map, you'll see on the bottom right corner, there's the nearby Pokemon, and if you tap that, it'll bring up a screen of showing you about 9 Pokemon that are near you. So there's the interface works like this. If it's 3 footprints, it's pretty far away. 2, you can probably pinpoint it slowly by walking in various directions. 1, you're really close, and if there's 0 footprints, that means it's super close, and if you tap on it, it'll probably just show up on the map, and then you can just tap on it and just engage in that battle. Now here's the thing, as you level up, Pokemon will actually have higher and higher stats, so the combat power will be, I don't know, 200-300 maybe, and then maybe even 500-600 eventually. And the thing is, they'll get harder and harder to catch. In the beginning, none of the Pokemon will really run away from you, and most of your Pokeballs will successfully catch through the first try. But as you level up higher and higher, and their CP gets higher and higher, the catch rate will get lower and lower. And you can tell the catch rate of the Pokemon depending on the ring that's around them. If you hold the Pokeball down, you'll see a green ring, which is easy, yellow, which is medium, I guess red is really hard to catch. And you'll get more and more items to actually help you catch. So you'll start off with just regular Pokeballs, eventually get Great Balls, probably Master Balls even, and then, yeah, as you level, you'll get more and more items available to you. And quick tip, you can actually spin the ball. So if you actually rotate the ball in the little area, and then you can flick it, it will spin the ball and it'll throw a curveball. Now here's a tip that I don't really want to recommend to people because you might have to spend money, and it's actually better if you do it early, is that when you catch new Pokemon, you get extra experience. So this is the Lucky Egg thing where someone recommends you to buy Lucky Egg really early on, and it actually makes a lot of sense. You can actually level up so much faster than most other people because every single time you catch a new Pokemon, you warrant 500 experience. And experience, well, you get 100 per catch. And beating a gym doesn't give you very much experience either, so catching new Pokemon is the best way to earn experience, and you can double that by using a Lucky Egg, so you can level up a lot faster, so you can get stronger Pokemon much quicker. If you're trying to catch up to your friends, you can try to use a Lucky Egg to do that. I guess it's worth it. Now for Pokestops. Pokestops are those little blue points of interest on your map. Usually you go there to collect more items. When you open one of these guys up, you see a little coin that you can flip, and basically just spin out some bunch of items. Now here's the thing, you don't actually have to tap any of these things, although it's a little more interactive if you do, but you don't have to. And once the items spit out, you just close it and you'll collect all of it. So it'll save you a bit of time. This is especially useful, especially if you're going through town in transit, like a train, or you're sitting in a car, or sitting in a bus. Usually they go by pretty fast, and you'll drive by Pokestops like non-stop, and you're not able to collect them all. So my tip for you is you can actually click on them ahead of time. It'll say you're too far, And once you've reached your destination, or once you're within range, it opens up and you can actually spin it. And once you spin it, even if you don't successfully get it, you should probably get out of it as soon as possible, because your vehicle that you're in will probably travel a bit too fast and you won't be able to use it, and so you might miss other stops. Always just press the one ahead of time and then just spin it and then go. Don't bother swiping it because, well, when you close it, it gets collected anyway. Now sometimes you might see that the Pokestop has a flowery pattern flying around it. That's actually a good thing. You should go there if it's safe, of course. Usually what that means is someone used a lure module on it and it attracts more Pokemon in that area. So aside from the ones in your nearby UI, that area will rapidly spawn more and more Pokemon for people to catch. Sometimes rare ones will show up, sometimes there are a bunch of common ones. Activating one of these usually attracts a crowd because they want to take advantage of that point, because that is for everyone and not just for yourself. So if someone else activates it, you can go there as well. And there's also the incense, which is, it pretty much draws Pokemon towards your location. However, that is only for yourself, so you won't draw a crowd in that sense. Sometimes at a Pokestop, you'll be given an egg, and you have to hatch these eggs, and each of these eggs, they're hatched by walking distance, similar to the actual Pokemon game, where it takes a certain amount of steps. Now, this is the same case. You might be given an egg for 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, or 10 kilometers. The distance determines what's inside sometimes, and will probably determine how powerful it could be inside. Here's the thing. Only an egg in an incubator will hatch. You'll be given more and more incubators as you play, or you can buy more, of course. The thing is, there's a speed limit on the incubation process, so you can't be like driving a car like, ooh, 10 kilometers, that's easy. No, you have to walk it, and it has to be pretty slow, so there's that. But yeah, if you always have an incubator on as you're playing the game, you'll just hatch eggs every now and then, and it'll just be a nice and casual process. Now for the last tip I want to give you guys is, there's safety in numbers and it's more fun with friends. Now why safety in numbers? Because, well, here's the thing. There has been a lot of incidents with people playing this game, and it's caused traffic accidents. Someone used this as a tool for crime, like the mugging, where someone used a lure module and draw people into like rural areas and then just mug them with like at gunpoint. So you don't want to be part of that. So always be safe. Travel in groups, don't cause traffic accidents, don't drive and play this game. And even if you're driving and someone else is playing in the vehicle, if you think them sitting in shotgun is going to be really distracting, because I know how this feels. I was driving my girlfriend around and holy crap, she's like, oh my god, there's a Blastoise, and then it's like, oh well. I get pretty distracted too, because I get excited for her and I hope she catches it on my phone too. So there's a lot of distraction. Avoid all the distraction. Please put them in the backseat or tell them to shut up, because always be safe. There's no Pokemon that's worth your life or worth the life of others. And you don't want to be put behind bars for playing a game. I know this game is great and all, but, you know, be safe, have fun. That's all I got to say. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff from Tombox TV, where I talk about a lot of random stuff. This is just one thing that I really want to put out there since I'm having so much fun with the game. I might do more Pokemon Go stuff. But, you know, that is all I got to say. So, Tombox TV signing out.